Manchester United bombshell transfer that could change and bring glory back to Old Trafford. Hey football fans. Welcome back to United News. Big transfer updates today. Manchester United is in the headlines once again as they're making waves in the summer transfer window. Who will be the next Man United manager if Ruben Amorim is sacked? Ruben Amorim could be replaced by Xavi in the summer. There's already talk of Ruben Amorim being sacked by Manchester United after a rotten run of form that has seen them slump into the bottom reaches of the Premier League table. The late show to rescue a draw versus Everton has done little to reduce the chatter after another insipid performance. So who could take over at Manchester United? We have the big names with the latest odds here. 10. Thomas Frank. The current joint favorite for the Tottenham job, and somehow that feels more likely than the big old leap to Manchester United from the safety and low expectations of Brentford, who really don't care that he plays direct football. He was the favorite of Dan Ashworth, but he is long gone. 9. Edin Terzic. The former Borussia Dortmund boss was high in the reckoning for the Tottenham job, mostly we suspect because he is available. The same criteria could get him the nod here, and it's fair to say that former Dortmund bosses have generally done okay in our league. 8. Marco Silva. Has done quietly brilliant things at Fulham, but would Manchester United settle for quietly brilliant things? They probably should. 7. Joachim Low. So far, I haven't been absolutely passionate about a project. If that should happen, then I'm certainly ready to do something again if I'm really interested in it and find the project exciting. But not as a coach in the Bundesliga. I've ruled that out. I still have a few good ideas for club work, especially for the development of young players. Could Manchester United be the former Germany manager's passion project? Watch this space. 6. Maurizio Sarri. Out of work for almost a year after Lazio, you would have to ask whether Manchester United is really the job for a 66-year-old man already bruised by a year at Chelsea in which he was battered by the fans and the media. 5. Ruud van Nistelrooy. Because obviously it is going so very well at Leicester City. 4. Andoni Iraola. Figures high in the betting for any big Premier League job after improbably taking Bournemouth into the higher reaches of the Premier League table. The problem is that Real Madrid are also said to have added him to their list of candidates to replace Carlo Ancelotti, and somehow we don't think United win that battle. 3. Gareth Southgate. Very strongly linked with the Manchester United job last summer after somehow taking England to another European final. He would not be a popular appointment, but the good news for United fans is that it won't happen. He said as recently as October, "I won't coach in the next year for sure. I'm certain of that. I need to give myself time to make good decisions. When you come out of a really big role, you need to give your body time, you need to give your mind time. I'm enjoying my life, so there's no rush." 2. Max Allegri. It was said in September that little birds had been flirting with the former Juventus boss. Then in December, amid links with West Ham, he confidently described his English as very good. 5 Serie A titles would suggest he certainly knows how to claim trophies. 1. Xavi. According to reports in Spain, at Manchester United, some directors believe that Xavi could be the ideal man to rebuild the team, especially since his style of play resembles what they've been looking for since the departure of Sir Alex Ferguson. The former Barcelona coach has been out of work since the end of last season, when it was reported that he was eyeing an interesting club in the Premier League. And the one thing you can guarantee with United is interesting, where the 11 Man United players who were put up for sale 12 months ago are now. Manchester United reportedly put 11 of their stars up for sale a year ago when Sir Jim Ratcliffe came on board. Manchester United reportedly put 11 players up for sale a year ago. Manchester United attempted to have a mass clear-out last year after reportedly putting 11 of their stars up for sale following the arrival of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The Red Devils had underperformed for years, with the Ineos owner planning a major rebuild. Sadly for United followers, the 13-time Premier League champions have failed to turn their fortunes around this season, and Express Sport takes a look at what those players are up to a year down the line. Related articles. Casemiro was heavily linked with a move to Saudi Arabia last summer, but United were unable to move him on and played him against Tottenham on Sunday due to an injury crisis. His best days are well behind him and his current employers will be desperate to offload him this summer. Scott McTominay. United did manage to cash in on Scott McTominay, with the midfielder securing a £26 million transfer to Napoli last August. He has flourished in Italy and has helped Napoli storm to the top of the Serie A table after starting 21 league matches. Ironically, United could do with him at the moment as they are down to their bare bones in midfield. Raphael Varane departed Old Trafford last summer after his contract expired, and then penned terms with Serie A club Como. But he was forced to end his career last September because of a serious knee injury. Jadon Sancho was shipped off on loan to Chelsea at the start of the campaign after completing a loan spell with Borussia Dortmund during the second half of last season. The winger has been in and out of the starting team at Stamford Bridge, contributing 2 goals and 4 assists in the league. Manchester United shipped Jadon Sancho off on loan to Chelsea at the start of the season. Harry Maguire was never really fancied by former manager Erik ten Hag, and almost secured a move to West Ham in the summer of 2023. The centre-back has come back into the fold under Amorim, however, and has started 10 Premier League games under the Portuguese. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. United sold Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham last summer after the right-back had failed to live up to expectations in the Northwest. The 27-year-old has been a regular for the Hammers and has started 23 Premier League games this term. Victor Lindelof is still at Old Trafford and was on the bench against Tottenham at the weekend. He has suffered a string of injury problems this season and has fallen well down the pecking order following the arrival of Lenny Yoro, Matthijs de Ligt and Noussair Mazraoui. Christian Eriksen is another star who ended up staying at Old Trafford last summer, but the Denmark international barely gets a start these days. Worrying, the 33-year-old wasn't available for the trip to Spurs on Sunday, with Amorim putting his absence down to his heart situation. Eriksen had an ICD device fitted on his heart after collapsing during Euro 2020. Donny van de Beek never lived up to his billing in England after joining United from Ajax in 2020. After a miserable time in the Northwest, he eventually secured a move to Girona last year, with the Spanish club initially handing the Red Devils less than £500,000 for his services. He has played 28 times for Girona this season, with 7 of those appearances coming in the Champions League. Facundo Pellistri. United offloaded Facundo Pellistri to Panathinaikos last August, with the deal potentially bringing in almost £7 million for the English club. The Uruguay international has been in and out of the starting side in Greece. Brandon Williams joined United at the age of 7 and progressed all the way through the club's academy before making 51 first-team appearances. He headed through the Old Trafford exit last summer and is currently a free agent. Man United exploring stunning Rashford swap with Bayern Munich that cuts Aston Villa out entirely. Man United winger Marcus Rashford during his loan spell with Aston Villa. Manchester United are exploring a swap deal that would take Marcus Rashford plus a supplementary fee to Bayern Munich, with a star United can build around for the next decade moving the other way. Ruben Amorim quickly determined Marcus Rashford wasn't for him upon taking charge at Old Trafford. The Man United boss took a particularly dim view of Rashford's attitude and application, deeming him not 100% committed to the cause. The winger would ultimately go on to join Aston Villa in the winter window via the loan route. The agreement contains an option to buy worth £40 million. But according to an update from Caught Offside, Rashford's future may actually lay overseas in Germany. It's claimed Man United are actively exploring a swap deal that would see Rashford and central midfielder Alexander Pavlovic trade places. Rashford is valued around the £40 million mark by Man United, and per the report, the Red Devils would be required to pay a small supplementary fee on top, with Pavlovic presumably valued in excess of £40 million by Bayern Munich. Pavlovic, 20, has racked up 20 appearances for Bayern this term, though he's by no means a guaranteed starter. A sizable chunk of his outings have come from the bench, and he's been an unused substitute on 6 different occasions this term. Nonetheless, the 4-cap Germany international is a highly regarded player and, per the report, is someone Man United believe has a bright future. Caught Offside added, Man United are believed to view the young midfielder as a key figure they could build their squad around in the coming years. What about Aston Villa? As mentioned, Villa retain an option to buy worth £40 million, though it's important to clarify it's not an obligation. Even if Villa were to decide to trigger the clause, they'd still have to agree personal terms with Rashford, and Team Talk has been informed the player would like to play abroad. Rashford was pursued by a vast array of European sides last month, including Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund and Juventus, to name just three. The forward's preferred destination was Barcelona, though the La Liga giants simply could not finance a move in the winter window. Whether Bayern are actually interested in adding Rashford to their ranks isn't yet clear. Offside's reporting suggested it's Man United who are driving the idea of the potential swap deal at present. But if Bayern are receptive to forging a deal and Rashford still wishes to play abroad, Aston Villa could be cast aside in the summer, with Rashford embarking on a new chapter in Germany. Latest Man United news: Victor Osimhen transfer. In other news, reports in Italy claim Man United are ready to pay Victor Osimhen's €75 million release clause in the summer. The striker, currently on loan at Galatasaray, will return to Napoli at season's end, at which it's said to be 95% likely he'll be sold in a permanent deal. Man United are willing to meet the asking price, though issues regarding salary, a potential lack of Champions League football, and two rival suitors must all be overcome. Elsewhere, a United-linked goalkeeper will jump at the chance to join the club, and Amorim has had his say on the controversial decision to overturn Everton's late penalty. What are your thoughts on this latest news? Drop your comments below. I'd love to hear what other United fans think about these developments. Glory, glory, Man United!